Ogden and Marcotti joining me to discuss the story published by Alex Shaw today on ESPN FC about the possibility that some players are not willing to return to action in the Premier League. Mark, is this what you're hearing as well?
I've heard various things. I think some players are reluctant, but I think the majority are okay with it. I think the majority just want to get back involved and play again. But there are a minority, I think, of players who have issues they want to overcome in terms of safety and testing. But I think the vast majority of players will want to get back as soon as possible because that's what they do.
Gab, where does this leave the Premier League, even if it's a minority not wanting to play?
I mean, I think we have to come to terms with the fact that they want to start playing again on June 8th. They're going to train before that, right? And train properly, right? None of this, one guy on the pitch at one time like we've seen at Arsenal. And the fact of the matter is we don't have a health and safety protocol from the Premier League to do that. Other leagues that are even further away from going back, not just Germany, who could restart very, very soon, but also Italy and Spain, they've published and circulated a very detailed protocol. I think there are going to be certain players who are going to be like, well, wait a minute, you want us to go and do what? On what terms? How are you going to guarantee our health and safety? I think that should be a priority for the Premier League, together with the government, the medical authorities, to put that out there. Then you can discuss it, and maybe that might reassure some of the players. But, as we stand, I'm not surprised that some players are wondering, hey, is this in my contract? Is this really what I signed up for?
Mark, I think everyone was quite surprised yesterday by France's announcement, obviously, that everything's suspended until September. Could we see something similar in the Premier League? How far away are we from that sort of measure?
I think the difference in the UK is that the government is actively behind football starting again. That they're very keen for this so-called new normal to happen, and football is a big part of that. Maybe it's a bit naive, and maybe it's not the right idea, because I think testing and safety is the key issue. And if it's not safe in France and it's not safe in Holland, then why is it safe in the UK, where the testing numbers are still very low compared to other countries? So it does seem a little bit like football and politics and mixing a little bit here with the government and the Premier League trying to find the best way through this. But I think, to me, June the 6th, June the 8th, whichever one it seems very ambitious. And I think at the moment, the French could be the leaders in terms of what happens in Europe in the major leagues.
Do you agree, Gab?
I think it's, broadly speaking, yeah. I think Mark's right. I think France laid down an important marker. I think there is a way to do this and do it safely. I think the Bundesliga, we're going to know so much more after Angela Merkel speaks on Thursday, and we get some sort of announcement from the German government. If they have a blueprint, I think people will feel pretty confident that it can be done. It's going to be incredibly expensive. It's not clear how many dates you're going to have to do this. And I think if you can work out a deal with a TV company, some clubs, in fact, already some clubs are wondering, is it going to be worth it to us, the clubs that have very little to play for? So, ask me that question again after Germany. They really are, I think, the test case in this whole thing.
Last one on this, Mark. How much do the players have an influence on what happens overall?
Well, the players have got a strong union, a vocal union, the PFA. So if the players do feel uncomfortable, then the PFA will represent them. It's always been a very strong union, the PFA. Now, there's a meeting on Friday, another Premier League meeting on Friday, which will, maybe bring some clarity, maybe bring, as Gab says, some medical protocols, some potential dates. But the players will have a part to play, because if the players, if they threaten to go on strike, or enough of them threaten not to play, then there's a big issue, there's a big problem. So the players need reassurance that it will be safe, and it's not going to bring, reputational damage to football and players, because if they're being allowed to be tested and playing football when the rest of the country is suffering, then it's not going to look great for them. So a lot of issues to be overcome yet.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.